Hi everyone, and welcome to my tutorial for how to make these leggings with a slash pattern and a bleach dye pattern. They're super easy to make and really inexpensive. All you need is a few household items and a black pair of leggings. So let's go ahead and make them. Here is everything we need for this tutorial. The black leggings need to have a cotton content of over 90%. I've put a link on my website for where you can find them. And if you don't have a yoga mat, you just need an object shaped like a leg. Our first step in this tutorial is to design our slash and weave pattern. So this is my one, and you can download that on my website. My best advice is to start really simple, straight lines will do. Before we add our actual pattern to our leggings, I like to add some guidelines, especially below and above the knee, so I know where the pattern will sit. Then, I check that the guidelines match up so that the pattern will be even. Okay, so I've changed out of those leggings and now I have them here. So this is what they look like. I also added additional lines for where the top of the design will go and also the bottom as well. Next, this is really good if you don't have anyone to do this on, is you need something that is shaped like a leg. So I have here a yoga mat that I've rolled up, and this is going to be my leg shape. So let's see how we go here. If you have two yoga mats, that's even better. Okay, so now that I have got my yoga mat in my leggings, I can start to draw on my slash pattern. What's really important is that we all have different shaped legs and different size legs, so the proportion of the pattern is going to be dependent on your legs. So I have fairly short legs, so my pattern won't go as long. What's best is if you draw your center points first. So I've got 4 diamonds in my pattern. I'm going to draw those first and then fill in the gaps. Okay, so this is my marked out base pattern, and now I'm going to go do it on the other leg as well. Okay, so now that you've marked both legs with your pattern and checked that they're matched up, we're ready to cut. So here's what it looks like. I'm going to mark out where my slashes are. I have 7 per diamond and per triangle as well. So I mark the middle, what I'm doing to measure them out, rather than going through with a ruler and measuring every single line. I'm just measuring the middle, then measuring or drawing a slash line for the ends, and then doing 2 to fill that space. Now keep in mind this won't be perfect, but that's okay. So there's what my slash looks like. I'm going to go ahead and do that on the rest of the leg. Okay, so now we're ready to cut. This is the way I do it, hopefully you can see, is I pinch the middle of one of the lines and I make a small incision. And I do this for each line. I'm left-handed, so this is always a struggle. So now that I've done that, inside the cut that I've made, I cut to the end of my guideline on one side, and then I'll flip it over and do the other side. And there you have it, you have your first lot of slashes, and so I'm going to go ahead and do that on both sides for the rest of the leggings, and then I'll come back and I'll show you how to weave them. Now that we've cut our slashes out, it's time to weave them. So here's what it looks like after you've cut them all out. So I've done this on both sides. So I'm going to show you how to weave them, and I'm going to show you from a couple of different views. So the typical way to weave leggings are is you take your first strand that you've cut out, you place it over the second strand, and you pull the second strand through. So I'll show you again. You get the first strand, put it over the top of the second strand, like so. You can see you've made this letter A shape, and then you pull the second strand through and you can let go of the first strand. And then you do that again. You grab, which is now the second strand, you pull that over the third strand to make this letter A shape, and you pull that strand through. And then you get this chain style look coming through, and you braided them together. So you can undo this quite easily, just pull them all out. And I'll show you from another angle as well. So we grab our first strand and we put it over the top of the second strand to make this letter A shape. Then grab that second strand and pull it through. We do this again with our third strand to make this letter A shape, and we pull the third strand through. And we keep doing this until we've reached the end. And at this point we can sew this final loop here, but I've decided to do something different in my design. For my weave pattern, we're going to continue as we did before, pulling the first strand over the second strand to make that A shape, and doing that again, the second strand over the third strand. But at this point, we're going to pin it in place, and then what we're going to do is we're going to weave in the opposite direction, starting at the bottom of the diamond. And then we're going to pin that in place and sew those points together to get this really cool opposite direction sort of pattern. This is what it looks like after I've sewn all those points together. Now we're going to prepare for our tie dyeing. First, we do this by changing our leggings to the orientation of where we want our dye pattern to be. So I want the bleach to actually appear on the front of the leggings because I have the slashes on the side. So what I need to do is I need to prepare the folds so that that part will be exposed. And to do this, I'm going to do a concertina fold, starting from the bottom of the legs all the way up to the crotch. Starting from the bottom, make a fold of the leggings that is 2 fingers wide, fold that over and then under, and do this all the way until you reach the crotch on one leg, and then grab some elastic bands and fasten it in the middle, and put 2 elastic bands on either side as well. This is going to hold our leggings in place while we're bleaching them. After you've folded both legs, we're going to fold the top waistband of the leggings and wrap that in aluminium foil to protect this area from bleaching. Now, here's the fun part. We're going to pour some bleach in our tub till it's about 3/4 full. Then we're going to grab our leggings and dip each of these edges into the tub. And at this point, set a timer immediately for 2 minutes because this is a very quick process. If you want to, you can squeeze out the remaining bleach in the edges, but we want to saturate them to make sure the bleach goes through all layers of our folds. Here I just keep dipping the leggings in the bleach and then squeezing out the excess, and you can see it turns orange really quickly. So pay attention to your timer and stop it early if you need to. So after approximately 2 minutes, remove the elastic bands, being careful not to get bleach everywhere. And then I actually forgot to do it for this video, but make sure you rinse the leggings in water first and then pop them straight into your washing machine without any detergent, then hang them out to dry. Well, I hope you had as much fun making these slash tie-dye leggings as I did. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you next time. Bye!